Hey y'all, welcome back to Homemade Simple. If we've not met before, I'm Lori. I'm really glad that you're here today. I've got a video full of simple and easy recipes to share with you. I'm going to share 3 delicious, super easy sheet pan meals, and they can be done in 10 or 15 minutes of work time each meal. I'm going to actually put the rest of my week's meals together this afternoon. Just gonna take a couple of hours, cook all of my meals, and have them ready to go for the busy nights that I know are coming. This is a birthday week here at our home, so we've got lots of fun things going on, lots of prep work that needs to be done for Lane's birthday party on Saturday. So I need to just get everything done today, have it all in the fridge, ready to eat whenever mealtime comes each evening. I'm gonna start by making some nachos for tonight's dinner, and then I'm gonna move on to 2 other sheet pan meals that will make perfect make-ahead meals ready to go for the rest of the week. So let's get started. There's absolutely 0 fat in that, so no need to drain it. I'm gonna make my own seasoning for it. You can get one of those seasoning packets, the taco packet. I don't love those. I'd just rather take a little bit of time, just a few seconds, and make my own. So I'm gonna put in about 2 teaspoons of salt. I'll add about 1 tablespoon of chili powder. You don't really have to measure, you can just sort of eyeball it. A couple of teaspoons of cumin, and I'm gonna add some paprika just for a little bit of depth of flavor. Just maybe a teaspoon or so. You can leave that out if you would prefer. You can add a little bit of water to this to help it sort of stick to the meat. That's optional, but it just helps it sort of give the meat a little bit of a deeper flavor. Make sure that it is not stuck on the pan, and instead the flavoring is in the meat itself. Okay, I'm gonna let that water cook out, stirring it pretty frequently, and then we'll be ready to put our sheet pan together. Okay, now I've got all of the ingredients prepped, and we're ready to put together our sheet pan meal. I'm going to use my cast iron pan. I've discovered that this is really inexpensive on Amazon. I'll link it down below in case you want one. I'm not going to use any kind of parchment paper. You can if you want to. I got these cute little fall leaf tortilla chips. I'm going to add some shredded cheese, probably about 2 cups of shredded cheese. I have drained a can of whole kernel corn. I'll add that. I've got 1 can of black beans that I have drained, rinsed and drained. I've chopped up some tomatoes and onions. And now it's time to add our ground turkey. I'm gonna put this in the oven for about 15 minutes just for everything to warm up really nicely, and then we'll put on just a few more toppings and be all done. Okay, I've diced up some avocado. I'm gonna add that to the top. You wanna add this after you bake it, just so it doesn't get, so the avocado doesn't get mushy and turn brown, so it'll look fresh for dinner time. You can add as many as you want. I'm just gonna add 1, but probably more would be better. I'm gonna sprinkle some cilantro on top, and then add some sour cream. And there you have a super simple, easy, and quick meal for any busy weeknight. Probably took 10 or 15 minutes max of work time to have a delicious family meal. Next up, we're going to make an Asian dish with chicken and vegetables, but I'm gonna make a sauce first. Okay, I'm gonna start by adding 1/4 cup of liquid aminos. This is sort of like just a little healthier version of soy sauce. If you just want to use soy sauce, that's fine. Next, I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons of minced garlic. Probably would be better to have fresh, but we have this in the fridge and it needs to be used up, so that's what we'll use. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of oil. I have avocado oil. I think sesame oil would give it sort of a more Asian flavor. I don't have any of that, so I'm just gonna use what I have. I'll add about a teaspoon of salt. Mix all of this together. Okay, I've chopped up probably a pound, maybe a pound and a half of chicken. I'm going to put it in the bowl with the sauce and allow it to marinate for maybe about 15 minutes or so. Just stir it to coat. You can put it in the fridge if you would like, but it'll be fine sitting out on the counter. Okay, now all of the vegetables are prepped and ready, so I'm just going to place 2 sliced bell peppers on the pan, spread them out. You can use a variety of different vegetables for this recipe. I'm gonna add 1 bag of frozen broccoli and 1 bag of frozen cauliflower. I have some onions that I had put up in the freezer. I'm gonna add a few of them. This is probably the equivalent of 1 small onion. I found some sugar snap peas at Walmart, so I thought that might be good to add. And now I'm just gonna drizzle it with a little bit of avocado oil, or olive oil would be fine as well. Just season it with about a tablespoon of salt. And now I'm just gonna mix everything together to coat it with that oil. Of course, I'm gonna make a mess. I can't cook without making a mess. Okay, my chicken has been marinating for about 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm just going to place it on top of the vegetables. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. If you want your vegetables to be more tender, then you might want to go ahead and pre-cook them for maybe 10 minutes or so. I think this is going to end up being crispy vegetables, but that's okay with me. So if that is something that you don't think you will like, just go ahead and cook the vegetables for a few minutes prior to adding the chicken. This is a meal that's going to be really easy if you're trying to meal prep for lunch. You can just throw all of this together, and after it bakes for about 20 minutes or so, you'll have a delicious dinner ready to go. And for our last meal today, I'm going to make a sheet pan meal using sweet potatoes and some bell peppers, some other vegetables, and some chicken. So to begin this meal, I'm just going to spread my diced sweet potatoes to cover the bottom of my pan. That was about 4 regular size sweet potatoes. I used these small peppers for this recipe. It was 1 pound. I'm going to spread those out on top of the sweet potatoes. I'm also going to add some frozen broccoli. You can exchange the broccoli for Brussels sprouts or green beans, or zucchini even would be good. This is a really versatile recipe, so just whatever you like the best. I'm gonna sprinkle a few sliced onions. Now I'm gonna drizzle maybe a tablespoon or two of oil on top. I'm gonna mix that together really well so that all of the vegetables are coated. Now I'm going to season the vegetables with a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, and some paprika. Next I'm gonna add my diced chicken to the top. This is about 1.5 pounds of chicken. I sort of handicapped myself because I almost cut the tip of my finger off when I was cutting these sweet potatoes. So be really careful when you're preparing your vegetables. I probably need to get one of those gloves so that you don't cut yourself, because apparently I'm just clumsy. I'm gonna drizzle just a little more oil on top of the chicken. Sprinkle a little bit of salt and some paprika. I'm gonna put a few dashes of lime juice just to give it like a bright flavor. I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees. Sorry for the shadow, the sun has decided to come out today. I'm gonna bake this at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes or so, and this meal will be ready as well. I believe how simple these meals were to put together. I want to say thank you to my friend Hillary who gave me the idea for this video. She told me several weeks ago how she loved making sheet pan meals and that I really needed to try them, and she was definitely right about that. These meals have come together so simply. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope that you will do that. If you like this kind of content, please be sure and let me know down below. Also, if you have tried sheet pan meals in the past, I would love for you to share the recipes down below so that I can add that to my recipe book as well. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you, and I will see you again next time.